African news update on top accolade news. The headlines: Chad's Constitutional Council upholds controversial election results. Victims' families sue Ramaphosa for failure to investigate Apartheid-Era crimes. COMOROS president announces intention to hand power to son in 2029. UAE strengthens position as Africa's leading investor. In politics, Chad's Constitutional Council upholds controversial election results. Chad's Constitutional Council has confirmed the ruling Patriotic Salvation Movement's victory in last month's parliamentary election, dismissing opposition's claims of fraud, voter intimidation, and low turnout. Despite opposition protests in the capital, the council maintained that the elections were peaceful and voter turnout exceeded 50%. Opposition leaders argued the elections were marred by fraud and intimidation, accusing the president of using government troops to suppress opposition voices. The government, however, remains firm with the National Agency for the Management of Elections, emphasizing the upcoming senatorial election as the final step in the transition to civilian rule. Still in politics, victims' families sue Ramaphosa for failure to investigate Apartheid-Era crimes. Families of victims and survivors of Apartheid-Era political crimes have filed a lawsuit against South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, accusing his government of failing to properly investigate and prosecute crimes committed during apartheid. The group, seeking around 167 million rands in damages, claims the government's lack of action has denied them justice. They are also demanding a commission of inquiry into political interference that suppressed investigation into these crimes. The case comes nearly 3 decades after the end of apartheid, and despite the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's efforts, many key cases remain unresolved. Ramaphosa's office has yet to respond to the legal action, but denies any interference into law enforcement work on these historic cases. Moving on in politics, COMOROS president announces intention to hand power to son in 2029. In a controversial statement, COMOROS President Azali Assoumani revealed that he intends to hand over power to his son when he leaves office in 2029. This marks the first time he has publicly confirmed critics' accusation that he has been grooming his son to succeed him. His son already holds significant influence in the government and has been entrusted with overseeing cabinet affairs. The announcement has sparked strong opposition, with critics claiming it threatens the democratic process and risks turning the nation into a dynastic regime. Despite winning recent parliamentary election, this government faces ongoing accusation of corruption and voter fraud. Shifting focus to economy, UAE strengthens position as Africa's leading investor. The United Arab Emirates continues to dominate as Africa's top investor, significantly contributing to renewable energy and infrastructure projects across the continent. From solar power initiative in North Africa to infrastructure ventures in East and West Africa, UAE-backed projects are reshaping the region. However, concerns over labor practices and environmental standards remain. President of the Arab Energy Club emphasizes the importance of balancing foreign investment with local benefits, urging African governments to ensure long-term positive outcomes. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. In health, US WHO withdrawal threatens Africa's health initiative. The African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has raised concerns over the impact of the United States plan to withdraw from the World Health Organization, warning that it could severely disrupt health initiatives across the continent. The US has been a major financial contributor to the WHO, helping fund critical health programs in Africa, including HIV/AIDS response. With this support now in jeopardy, African officials are urging countries to seek alternative funding sources to maintain public health drives. The withdrawal also threatens collaborative efforts like the Joint Action Plan between the US and Africa CDC that have already been in development for a year. Moving to security. South Sudan bans social media for 30 days. In a move to protect public safety, South Sudanese officials have announced a temporary ban on social media for at least 30 days following disturbing content related to violence against South Sudanese nationals in Sudan. The National Communication Authority issued a directive to telecommunications companies citing concern over videos depicting militia groups carrying out brutal acts on Sudan states. The government says the restriction may go up to 90 days as it is crucial to maintain public order and mental well-being. Moving to entertainment. South African TREVOR to host and produce the 67th Annual Grammy Awards. TREVOR is set to return as the host of the 67th Annual Grammy Awards for the 5th consecutive year, with the Emmy-winning comedian also taking on production duties for the prestigious event. The 2025 Grammys will be held on February 2nd in Los Angeles. The Nigerian music industry continues to make waves, with Afrobeat stars dominating the African Song Performance category. Burna Boy, Asake and Davido all earned nominations, while Tem stands out with 3 nominations, including Best Global Music Album. This year's Grammy nomination underscored the increasing global recognition of African music. Now in sports. Lagos to host inaugural WBC Amateur Boxing Championship. Lagos is set to make history as it holds the inaugural Yucateco World Boxing Council Amateur Boxing Championship, marking a milestone in African boxing. The event, scheduled for February 6 to 8, will feature top amateur boxers from 8 nations, including Kenya, Uganda, Togo, and Nigeria. The championship offers a chance for boxers to secure a spot at the first ever WBC Amateur Boxing World Cup later this year and win the converted WBC Amateur title belt. That concludes our African news updates for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojorume Okucha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.